on the news, we saw Israel basically taking over Syria. Yep. How did they make that happen? The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. Sometimes you wonder if they're really intelligent. I have to make a joke. Because they've waged wars ever since they've been formed, using our tax dollars to invade foreign countries to steal their resources. So let's get back to Netanyahu just for a minute. He has a plan, the Greater Israel, which I've talked about numerous times. Syria is one of the targets. So he used the rebels who will fight for anybody. You give them enough weapons and give them enough money and give them drugs, they're happy. They'll raise hell anywhere. And the CIA's done this around the world. Think about all the wars we had. Think about Iraq. Think about all the, quote, terrorist groups. Think about Afghanistan. Think of Somalia. You know what's really interesting is we leave our equipment when we get done. Boy, that's a cash cow. Just think, all those manufacturers don't have to bring their equipment back to the United States. We just leave it there and they can make new ones. Brand new ones. It's a money machine. We have a big problem. Huge problem. Do you think that Russia, Iran, Turkey is going to allow for further expansion? Now, Turkey plays both sides of the fence. Right now, they let the West take over Syria. But the next step is we have to focus a little bit on Ukraine right now, because the U.S. is escalating attacking Russia. Now remember, it's not Russia that's attacking America. It's America who's over there across that big ocean, the United States, but all the allies like Britain and France and selling weapons, making billions of profit because they really want to go after Russia also. So if you think of the Greater Israel Project, which is this map that you see behind me, that's where they're going, but it doesn't stop there, folks. And we have a real problem coming. Because do you think that Russia's going to sit back and allow NATO to move further into Russia? No way in hell. And what will come out of the sky is Russia's new missile system and its system that's in space to be able to take out what it needs to take out to stop this madness. And Americans will say, oh, Russia's bad, Russia's bad. No, you're just ignorant. And I don't mean it derogatorily. Ignorance means you don't have all the facts. And I want to go real quick. World War I, Russia was our ally. World War II, Russia was our ally. Now how in the hell did they become our enemy? Well, when I was a little kid in kindergarten, laying underneath my desk, I went home and asked my mom, why are the Russians our enemy? And my mom looked at me, what? I said, well, according to Uncle Booby, William B. Agnetti, Lieutenant Colonel of the Strategic Air Command after the war, being shot down in Germany, he explained to me who Russia was. Our ally in World War I and our ally in World War II. Well, how in the hell did they become our enemy? Well, Gregory didn't like what he was hearing. So by the time third grade came around, I'm laying underneath my desk because the air raid siren went off. My teacher stood up and said, Greg, stand up. What are you laughing about? I stood up and I looked at her and I said, why are we underneath the desk? If the atomic bomb's going to go off, what's it going to do? Why can't we just watch the flash? I lived in Seattle, Washington. So I imagined this bomb going off. I could look out the window and we'd all be dead. And she started laughing because she knew I had to say something else. And she said, and what else do you want to say, Greg? And I said, the Russians are our allies, or our enemy, pardon me. And she said, and I said to her, Mrs. Curie was my teacher's name. I said to her, Russia's not the enemy. They were our ally in World War I and World War II. And she looked at me like a deer in headlights. She said, what? I said, that's the truth. So I know that I've been living in a lie my whole life, but I had to understand why and who our government was. And so I spent 36 years inside as an independent contractor, inside different agencies, went down to Central America, studied that one. And I came back and decided it was time to put the whole puzzle together because I'm tired of we being lied to by the media.